Cbeebies Bedtime Story.
Oh, just have a little sit down. Oh, who's left all this stuff here? Oh, hello. I'm Sue. Do you know who left this stuff here? Look, there's a tennis ball, an alarm clock, apples, a plate of donuts. What an odd collection of things. Although maybe there's a clue. They're all round. Ah. I think I know who left these here. Let me tell you tonight's bedtime story, and then you can guess who left them here. The story's by Sue Hendra, and it's called Norman the Slug with the Silly Shell. Norman the Slug thought snails were great. "Wow," said Norman, "look at them, they're amazing." But unfortunately, the snails didn't think Norman was great. Whee! Crash! "Norman, you silly slug," they cried. "You've spoilt our fun. This only works if you've got a shell." Norman felt left out. Sadly, he skulked off into the moonlight. "Oh, if only I had a shell of my own," he sighed, looking at his reflection. And that's when he had an idea. Maybe I could have a shell after all, he thought. But finding a shell was not as easy as it seemed. One was too bouncy, one was too noisy, and one was already taken. Norman needed time to think. Ta-da! A shell! It was perfect. Norman had never been happier. He could join the snails at last. Norman loved being a snail, and the snails loved Norman's silly shell. But the fun didn't last for long. Suddenly there was a loud flapping of wings. "Look out! Bird!" cried the snails in panic. "Quick, slither for your lives or we'll end up a supper." But the bird was more interested in Norman's silly shell. It looked delicious. Norman was being carried up, up and away, higher and higher into the sky. What could he do? Norman did the only thing a slug could do. He made slime, lots and lots of it. With a slither and a slother and a slip and a slide, Norman was free. But he was falling faster and faster and faster until... plonk! Norman, are you okay?" asked the snails. "Wow," said Norman, "that was great. I love flying. Whew, if only I had wings." Ta-da! That story was called Norman the Slug with the Silly Shell. And that's who left all this stuff about. Norman, when he was trying out different things for shells. Oh, well, I need to tidy this up before bedtime. I hope you've tidied up too, all ready to go to bed and sleep. So that you're ready for tomorrow's adventures, just like Norman. I'll see you soon for another story. Night-night. Now, where shall I start? I've got the ball, I've got the clock.